What's up, y'all? Welcome back to the Zabin Law Sports Podcast. I'm your host, Isaiah. Today, y'all, we have another 2024 WNBA team preview, and we have the Washington Mystics. So without further ado, let's get into it. All right, y'all, so let's get into the Washington Mystics strengths. I think they only have two strengths, but their first strength is that they have an amazing defensive backcourt. You talking about you have Brittany Sykes at point guard, and then Ariel Atkins at shooting guard. Y'all, in my opinion, that is the best defensive backcourt in the WNBA. Last year, y'all, the Mystics as a team, they were a pretty average offensive team, but their defense was really, really good, and this was because of the play of Brittany Sykes and Ariel Atkins, y'all. The two women you see on your screen right now. You talking about two defensive-minded guards that really, really, really put a lot of pressure and get up into opposing guards. That's why, like, even last year, y'all remember they beat the Aces, and a lot of people were surprised. But in that game, the reason they really won that game is because of their defense, right? They really forced Chelsea Gray, Kelsey Plum, and Jackie Young to take some difficult shots, and that's because of the defense that Ariel Atkins and Brittany Sykes played on them. So I love this. As y'all know, Brittany Sykes, man, she's been arguably the best defensive guard in the league the last 4 years now, right? Ever since that 2020 season for the Sparks, she's just been an elite defender. And Ariel Atkins, ever since she came to the league in 2018, she's been a very, very good defender. Last year kind of had a little bit of a down year, but I think she's going to get back to being an elite defender. This is still, in my opinion, the biggest strength of this team. And then y'all think their second and final strength is that they have an athletic and energetic front court. This is led by Shakira Austin, y'all. Shakira, I think this is going to be a breakout season with her. We saw last year that she was starting to kind of break out, and then she ended up getting injured. And it seems like when she came back from injury, she was never really able to get that mojo back again. But I think this year, y'all, she's going to stay healthy. She's going to have a big year. Shakira can really run the floor. She can guard multiple positions, and she plays with a lot of energy. Like I said, they have an energetic front court. She plays with a lot of energy, a lot of joy. She's going to give you everything she has every single game. Talk about, y'all, they also just drafted Aaliyah Edwards, a forward out of UConn with the 6th pick in this past year's draft. Aaliyah, very similar to Shakira, except she's a little bit of a better shooter in my opinion, but very athletic, very energetic, can guard multiple positions, can finish around the rim. And then off the bench, y'all, you have Maisha Hines-Allen, who I know she's had a couple of down years for her standards, but when she was at her best, y'all, she would come off the bench, give you about 15 points, right? Give you everything she had defensively, and she is a big-time competitor. That's the biggest thing I love about Maisha Hines-Allen. She is a big-time competitor, and she's not going to back down from a challenge. So with those three, y'all, Shakira, Aaliyah Edwards, and Maisha Hines-Allen, that is an athletic and energetic front court that the Washington Mystics have. But, y'all, let's get into the Washington Mystics weaknesses. I think their first weakness is that they are lacking shot creators. You're talking about a team that last year had Elena Deladon and Tasha Cloud, but they don't have those two women any longer. So now this means that Brittany Sykes, y'all, is going to have to be like the primary ball handler, the primary shot creator for this team. I don't love that. I really love Brittany Sykes as a player, but Brittany Sykes is more of a secondary ball handler, a secondary shot creator. But because you don't have Tasha Cloud, like I just said, and you don't have Elena Deladon, she's going to have to be that number one person for you. I just don't know if she's ready to handle that. And then you have Ariel Atkins, y'all, but Ariel Atkins is more of like a catch-and-shoot player. She never has been a player that has generated/created a lot of offense for herself. So this team just really does not have the shot creators that you need to be able to compete in today's league, y'all. I mean, seriously, you got to have, young women that can just take the game over, get you 25 to 30 points a game, and they don't need anyone to get them an open shot. They can just get their own shot off of themselves. This team does not have that. You look at their next weakness, y'all, they are relying on unproven players at the small forward position. Right? You talk about you have Emily Inkster, y'all know she was a formerly, first round draft pick for the Indiana Fever. That never worked out. And here she is with the Washington Mystics now, but she's probably going to be their starting small forward. But y'all, you can't trust Emily, right? She hasn't proven anything yet. She hasn't done anything yet in her career. And then also at the backup small forward, you have Carly Samuelson. And I like Carly, but she's just a 3-point shooter. She hasn't proven that she can actually be a good starting small forward in the league. Y'all, you got to be more than just a good shooter or a good defender. You got to be able to do a multitude of things to be a good starter. So I'm really not sure how this small forward position is going to go. I think this might be the worst small forward situation in the league right now. I mean, seriously, if you're talking about two players that have not proven anything, right? The only thing that Carly Sampson has proved is that she's a good three-point shooter, but she has not proven, again, that she could actually be a good starting small forward. And then y'all think their last weakness is that they're relying on three players to score, and those three players are Brittany Sykes, Ariel Atkins, and Shakira Austin. But outside of that, this team doesn't have any depth. They don't have any bench players that can come off the bench, and give you like 10, 15 points outside of really Mahisha Allen. But again, y'all, like I said a few minutes ago, she's had a couple of down years. So can she ever get back to that level of play? I'm not sure. If she does, it would be great. But if she does it, then you're relying on three players to score. And that's hard, y'all, because some of these teams, they have multiple players that can score. Even players coming off their bench that can get you 10 or 15 points. The Mystics do not have that. Do not be surprised if Shakira Austin, Ariel Atkins, and Brittany Sykes, they end up getting very exhausted early on in the season, y'all, because they're just carrying so much of load. But, y'all, let's get into my statistical projections. And I had Brittany Sykes averaging 17.4 points per game, 5.1 rebounds per game, 4.2 assists per game, and 2.4 steals per game. Y'all, last year, Brittany Sykes, she averaged about 16 points, 5 rebounds, and 4 assists. So I think she's going to put up very similar numbers, but I think the points are going to go up. This will be a career high for Brittany Sykes, right? And I know people have never really seen her as a scorer, but y'all, when you look at the makeup of this team, I mean, Brittany Sykes is going to have every opportunity to, score a lot of points. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if she has some 30-point games, maybe even some 40-point games, because, again, this team just does not have a lot of scoring on it. So Brittany Sykes is going to have the opportunity to really put up the buckets, and I think she will do that. Next up, y'all, we have Ariel Atkins. I have her averaging 16.6 points per game, 3 rebounds per game, 2.7 assists per game, and 1.6 steals per game. As I mentioned earlier, y'all, it was a bit of a down year for Ariel Atkins last year, and she was kind of dealing with a shoulder injury, but she's fully healthy. I think Ariel Atkins is going to go back to the Ariel Atkins of 2022, when she was seen as maybe the best shooting guard in the league. So I think Ariel Atkins has a bounce back year. And then finally, y'all, we have Shakira Austin. I have her averaging 13.6 points per game, 7.5 rebounds per game, and 1.2 blocks per game. Again, y'all, like I said earlier, I think Shakira, she's going to have a breakout season. Last year, she averaged about 10 points. I think she's going to go up 3.6 points. And this could be good enough to make the All-Star team, but we shall see. All right, y'all, let's get into Zay's crazy predictions. And my first crazy prediction is that Brittany Sykes makes her first All-Star appearance. Even though I think the Mystics are not going to be a very good team, I just think that her numbers are going to be so elite and she's going to be playing well that people are going to be like, yeah, Brittany Sykes needs to make the All-Star team. She came close, in my opinion, to making it last year. But I just think you had so many, players that could have made it that she just, end up kind of getting left off. But I think Brittany Sykes is going to be put in the All-Star game this year, y'all. I expect her to have a really great year. Look at my second crazy prediction, y'all. Brittany Sykes is going to lead the league in steals, right? So I think, again, this is going to be a huge year for Brittany Sykes. Last year, she averaged about 2.3 steals per game. This year, I have her averaging 2.4. Y'all know last year, Jordan Canada led the league in steals, but I think Brittany Sykes is going to beat her out. Again, Brittany Sykes is one of the better defensive guards in the league, maybe the best defensive guard, and I think she's going to lead the league in steals. And then, y'all, my third and final crazy prediction is that the Mystics average the fewest, points per game in the league. Again, this team just does not have a lot of scoring, so I don't see how they're going to really be able to get buckets like that. I would not be surprised if this team ends up averaging maybe 71, 72 points per game. You talking about last year, the team that averaged the fewest points was the Phoenix Mercury, and they still averaged 77 points per game. I don't see the Mystics even getting close to 77 points per game. So I think they're going to average the fewest points per game in the league. All right, y'all, so let's get into my record prediction. So I think best case for the Washington Mystics is that they go 14-26, and that they only have a 5-game drop-off. Again, when you lose Tasha Cloud, you lose Elena Deladon, you also lose Tiana Hawkins because she retired. I mean, it's just a lot of production, right? A lot of production, a lot of veteran presence that you just don't have any longer. But if you go 14-26, this would be a respectable record because, losing all that production and then only having a 5-game drop-off, that's respectable. I can understand that. But y'all, I think the worst case is that they go 7-33. I think the Mystics could be this bad. Seriously. I think some people would be surprised by this. Y'all, they could be this bad. I mean, last year, the Phoenix Mercury only won 9 games. So it's possible, right? It is very possible that the Washington Mystics only win 7 games because they just don't have the horses to really be able to compete with the rest of the league, y'all. But my prediction is that the Washington Mystics will go 10-30. I just think you're looking at a team, y'all, This is gonna be a long, trying year for them. But really, this season should be about developing Shakira, developing Aaliyah Edwards, and continue to just see Brittany Sykes and Ariel Atkins do their thing. That's what it's about. I think this year is all about development, and you got to look towards the future. Look towards that 2025 draft, where you could potentially get somebody like a Kiki. You could potentially get somebody like a Paige Beckers. You could potentially get somebody like an Anissa Morrow. That's what it's about for the Washington Mystics, y'all. They know they're not going to be a competitive team. They're not going to win games. But this is all about player development and building towards the future. So there y'all have it, man. That is my 2024 WNBA team preview for the Washington Mystics. Remember, y'all, laughter's good medicine, so make sure you get your daily dose. Y'all know I'm an end man. I love y'all. God bless. Peace.